Hello, this is John McAllister, and today I'd like to go solo and I'd like to talk to you about college football camps, or selecting camps. And the very first thing I would go is, we have so many of these showcase camps. Showcase camps. We had guys here that are running them all over Ohio, a showcase camp. That's just what they are. And Nike comes in with a camp. Rivals comes in with a camp. They have all these. If you want to compete and you want to have fun and you want to see what other people have, go to a showcase camp. I mean, if you go, make sure they do the right things. Make sure they're timing you. Make sure they're teaching you how to run the 5-10-5, or they're coaching you up on how to do the L cone, or they're coaching you up on sprinting the 40-yard dash and things like that. These things you'll be doing all summer long. But if you go to a showcase camp, then you have a chance to learn these. And, it's a good idea, but it takes money. And as you evaluate a showcase camp, make sure you see what you're getting out of it. Make sure that you see what the results are. If it's just to go there and have fun and run around and catch footballs and block guys and the one-on-one drills, and make sure you're getting something out of that camp. Now, the biggest thing, even with Nike and Rivals and Under Armour camps, I worry about injuries. We used to run camps and combines, but we did ours most of the time in March. We tried to sneak in right behind the wrestling state championship games, but I always even worried about it then. Some prospect pulling up lame or blowing out a knee or dislocating an elbow or something of that nature, breaking the fingers, jamming the fingers. I worried about that. In fact, I've seen a couple of cases where guys have missed almost a whole season of college camps because they got hurt in a showcase. The showcase camp, the negative thing is you're going to camps in April, in March, and you're going to these camps. And how good a condition are you in? How much have you really worked on your techniques and things like this? So from that standpoint, I have a lot of concern about them. Again, even the Nike and Rivals, if you do poorly, they're going to put that out there. I guess it's a chance you have to take. Or on the other hand, if you do well, you're doing, it's good. I will tell you what, I think it's on some of these camps, they videotape everything that you do. So if you don't look good in a video, and college coaches, they pay for this service, but they see that. And then they're concerned. I've had college coaches tell me, yeah, John, I like him, but he didn't look well, didn't play well, wasn't as tall as I thought, and things like that. So really, dissing on showcase camps that's not my purpose today. Years ago when I had a Mark Porter who works in Ohio, Mark Porter beat me up a few times because he called it a moneymaker, and it really wasn't, because what we did, we paid our help, we paid for the use of the facilities, we paid for insurance. So when you do all those things for a guy like me, you weren't making a whole lot of money, but Mark Porter decided to, go after all these private camps. And, it's like everything else. Some are good, some are bad. I happen to think mine were pretty good. But that's the thing. Just I don't know for sure how much you get unless they're teaching you, unless they're teaching you to start in the 40, teaching you over and over. We ran the 5-10-5. One boy may have run it 3 or 4 times because we wanted them to come out of it with a understanding how to do it. And it wasn't just run them through and get on. We had position coaches and things like that. But I guess my real purpose today is not so much to beat up showcase camps, is to talk about college camps in general. College camps, you're going to hear that. Now everybody's wanting you to come to camp, wanting you to come to camp. And I think it's good. But you got to, do they really want you, or do they want money? Or do they really, most guys want to see you. And the problem is, most college camps, I know for myself, when I go around to these camps and I get invited to go to Ohio State or Michigan State, or Bowling Green, Toledo, when I get to go around and watch these guys, sometimes I go by elimination. You say, can't play. But I think college camps are huge. I think they're very important. I think it's almost a necessity. I think it's almost, college coaches want to see you. If you're a quarterback, sometime in that, you got to get the evaluators. You got to get what I call the decision makers. You've got to get in front of them. They've got to watch you throw. They've got to watch you run. Receivers, they got to watch how you catch the ball. And I think college camps are huge. I will tell you, I got an invite, and I think the guy's probably a really nice guy, but he has a private camp, and it's 2.5 days, and he's charging kids like something like $200 some. Well, I'm not going to go to that camp. I mean, first of all, don't go to a camp more than one day. I think Ohio State had tried to have an overnight and things like that, and it's probably worked okay. But I'd go one day to any camp, one day. Second thing I do is, one day, and the second thing I would do is make sure I knew who was there, who's running the camp. I think that's huge. I think it's huge. Later on, sometime in April, late April or early May, I'll talk about, how you should approach camps, what you should be doing as a recruit, what you should be doing. But college camps are huge. Now, I would say the other negative right now, maybe go back to a showcase camp here in June, is that college players of all grades can now run camps and work camps, because with NIL, they're allowed to do that. So, some places are bringing back college students to do the camp, okay, to run the camp, and that are still players. And I guess that's good, but I don't know for sure. I don't know. It's good, it's fun, and I don't know how much it costs. But if you want to be, if you want to go, I don't know how much evaluation is going to be going on. How much, if you want to go and be around college players, well, then go and pay the money. But I don't know if you go to really get evaluated. I don't know for sure how it works yet, but I know those camps are popping up all over the place, all over. So again, I'd put that back with showcase camps, and I'd like to almost get those out of the way now. Get those out of the way, and for college recruits, start focusing on the camps. And I think they can start May 31st, May 3rd, the college camps. And I think it's huge. I like the Division II camps in Ohio. Now, I know there's some, they're going to be in May. And Ashland has one. I think ODU has one. Tiffin may have one in May. I think maybe Findlay. They're running camps in May. And I think it's really huge. I'm really familiar with the Ashland camp, but I'm sure they're all the same. Division II. They run the same drills. They run the 5-10-5. They run the 40s. They do a lot of time individual work and a lot of time one-on-ones. They do everything that the big camps do. And for me, if you have time, now it's in the spring, and It's during track season, baseball season, in lacrosse, I think. But if you have time, I'd go to one of those camps. I think it's huge to get the experience. Then you go in, and they do the same things that the Ohio States, the Bowling Greens, the Toledos, the Miamis of Ohio, they do the same thing. And so, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn a lot at Ashland. You're going to get that experience at these other camps. So it's going to be good for you. And then you go into the Division Ones, the Ohio class of 2023. Okay, it's huge for you. You have all these fake offers or bogus offers. You have all these which you've gotten in the spring or you've gotten last winter. You're getting all these offers. One of the keys to those offers is you'll have an offer if you come in our camp and do well. Okay, you have an offer now, but you have to come to our camp and do well. So, it's almost imperative that you go to these camps. 2023 guys, you got to get after it. You got to go to the camps that have shown you the most love or attention. Sometimes spring evals are coming up with colleges will be out on the road, recruiting and doing those things, and maybe find out then how much they really want you, to be a part of their program, and go to those camps, the one-day camp. I think 23 guys, it's huge. I mean, this is your last hurrah going into the final season. And we know with all the problems now with NIL and with all the transfer rules, portals, with the extra year for COVID, it's a mess. So it's really important you go to camp, do well if you don't have a scholarship. And the other thing is try to get a feel for who wants you, okay? And I get a feel for who wants you and then go to that camp. Underclassmen, think it's really important for you. I think you almost follow the same line, the same rules. Go to camps that you really want to go to, and learn everything. And you have, even though you're only going to be a sophomore or you're going into your junior year, work as hard as you can, because the good programs will have your name down in comments. It's not just for you to go get the experience. So I think it's important for the 24s and the 25s to get into these camps. Same thing, same kind of level of camps. And maybe you too in the spring can get a feel for who really wants you. But it's important. It's important for you to learn everything. Maybe a sophomore, it's not quite, but you want to get ready for the next year. So you absorb, you sponge everything. You absorb everything you can now so you can do it next year. The camps are huge for underclassmen. I would tell you now, like most schools check them out for their camps. But I would tell you the new thing, it's been going on for a couple of years, but it seems to be maybe expanding a little bit. Kent State, Youngstown State have mega camps where they're bringing college coaches in from all over. You go to their website and you check out what schools are there. But they have mega camps where, like, say, I know Youngstown State last year, they've changed it. They had so many kids and so many coaches. Now this year they're splitting it up with offensive linemen, defensive linemen, and then skilled kids. I don't know the time on it yet, but I know they're doing that. Kent State's doing that. They're doing much the same thing. Mega camp. And there's some other schools. I don't know if Ohio is doing. Those are the only two in Ohio. There may be some in Indiana, yeah, Indianapolis. I don't know about, but they're mega camps, and coaches, at least 2 or 3 coaches from all over the Midwest come to those. And now not I mean, obviously not everybody, but there's quite a list of them. Now, and the other one I encourage, we talked about the new mega camps, but I think also it's centrally located, and I'm not so much saying because it's Ohio State you have to go to the Ohio State camp. I'm saying they let college coaches, the Mid-American Conference coaches, come in and watch the camp. And again, now you're getting more eyes. Now more people are looking at you. Now more people see you, and that's what it's all about. So I would look at the Ohio State camps and just see the dates and check those out. And once you go to those camps, it's in early. A lot of MAC schools have their own camps, obviously. I mean, all over they have their own, get you on campus and evaluate you. Sometimes, or a lot of times, from the Ohio State camp, they may see you, say, Akron has a couple of coaches. They say, hey, we'd like to see more of you, come to our camp. And then I think you start trying to figure out how serious they are about getting you there. So, in a sense, you go to Ohio State camp, which I think they're early, and then you go to the Ohio State camp, do well, and then maybe the MAC school coaches will say, hey, then I would go to a MAC school camp if they're showing a lot of interest in me. A lot of interest. And, that would be important. Now, I'm going to close this up with choosing camps. I think I kind of made it clear, I think, you have to go. I hate to say you have to go because nobody forces you, but it's so huge. It's so huge. And be the best and work hard. But choose camps. I don't think you have to fly all over the place. Now, say if Iowa State or Kansas or North Carolina, one of those schools has really shown a lot of interest in you, a lot of interest. Maybe go to one of those schools. Duke. Duke's got to recruit Ohio pretty heavy. If they're showing a lot of interest to go east, Penn State, well, then maybe make those trips. But that's a lot of travel. But if you think they're really, I almost say they have to have a scholarship in their hand, an offer in their hand. But if you study it, but make those are long trips. But if you really feel comfortable about it, don't be afraid to go to a camp. Like I just said, Duke, with North Carolina, those places. Now, my last thing I'll close with, you're going to camp. If you're going to go there to be a fan, get autographs or get a picture with a coach or something like that, or your parents are going to go and brag about going to Alabama camp or this camp or that camp, then that's altogether different. Go and have fun. But if you're going to be going as a recruit and you're very, very serious about it, then go as a recruit. Don't go because of the name. Don't fly down to Miami, Florida, because it's Miami, Florida, or all these different places. You're going after a scholarship. You're going after a solid offer, and that's what it's all about. So, try not to be a fan. Try to be a football player. Try to be a football player that's in a process of getting a job, getting a scholarship. So, I appreciate it, and I hope you've gotten something out of this today. Thank you.